1,000 Atreides soldiers, led by legendary commanders such as Duncan Idaho and Gurney Halleck, versus 1,000 Sardaukar in open combat. Who is winning? Atreides soldiers were considered among the finest in the Imperium. They were well trained, well equipped, highly disciplined and extremely loyal. Most Atreides soldiers came from the Atreides homeworld of Caladan, a beautiful and lush oceanic world. This world was actually considered a prime resort location for many within the Imperium. However, some Atreides soldiers such as Gurney Halleck were former liberated slaves. Their lives were far more brutal than the lives of the people of Caladan. The Sardaukar, on the other hand, were not so lucky. They were from the imperial prison world of Seleucus Secundus. This hellscape bred a special kind of warrior, one which did not fear death, only defeat. Now, there is certainly a case for saying that a warrior who doesn't fear death is a bad thing, but not so much in this instance. But the true disparity with them is in their training. Oftentimes Atreides soldiers were recruited as young adults, often like our own militaries. So by the time an Atreides soldier was just learning how to polish their boots, a Sardaukar soldier had already endured more than was believed to be physically possible, and killed more times than most professional soldiers would within their lifetime. This level of experience would be something that was impossible for the Atreides to replicate, and they were fully aware of this. That is one of the main reasons why they sought out the Fremen on Arrakis, believing that their desert power was the only thing which could rival the Sardaukar. Now, let us not forget, in this scenario the Atreides do have Duncan Idaho, a legendary swordmaster trained in the Ginaz Academy. The Ginaz were considered the finest swordmasters within the Imperium. However, we cannot forget that the greatest of the Imperial Sardaukar were rivals and sometimes greater than the Ginaz swordmasters, and it is highly likely that this force would be led by such Sardaukar commanders. So to break this down, in terms of the individual abilities and skills of the soldiers involved, I would definitely have to give it to the Sardaukar. In terms of the strength and capabilities of their greatest warriors, i.e. Duncan Idaho and Gurney Halleck, I would honestly have to say it's fairly even between the two sides. Now, that may shock some of you, but we really can't underplay the fact that some Sardaukar could rival and even surpass level 10 swordmasters of the Ginaz Academy. And finally, in terms of tactics, I'd probably give it to House Atreides if Duke Leto was commanding them, as he had proven time and time again during the blood feud with House Harkonnen that he was a truly gifted commander. Not to say that the Sardaukar didn't have great commanders as well, because they did, but just not as good as Duke Leto in my opinion. So having said all this, I honestly believe that 8 out of 10 times it's gonna have to be a Sardaukar victory, with the other 3 times being Atreides victories, although they would definitely be hard fought. And there really wouldn't be any draws, as the Sardaukar believed it was better to die than admit defeat. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments.